welcome. You're tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma, and with me as always is Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. So get ready for that, because in a while from now, we will start taking all your stock-related queries and get them answered by the experts. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, neither me nor you are wearing the color red, but still, the markets and the benchmark indices are in the red for now.
Absolutely, Shrishti, a very good morning to you. And looking at the markets right now, as you can see it on your screen, we have actually given up all of those gains that we opened up. Actually, we opened flat with the positive bias, and thereon we actually started nudging lower. But now you can see 0.7% downtick coming in for the benchmark indices. In fact, Nifty Bank, that's the place where the casualty is more. It's fallen in excess of 1%. Ditto coming in for the broader markets. They've also given up all of their morning gains. In fact, the fall for the broader markets was sharper than the benchmark indices, because they've given up almost 1% or so from the day's highest point, now trying to recover in a trade. Talking about the advanced decline ratio, looking at the way how the benchmarks and the Nifty Bank is performing, the advanced decline ratio for now is tilted in the favor of the declines, as you can see it on your screen. We have HCL Tech, Eicher Motors, HCL, Hindalco, ITC and Axis Bank among the top gainers right now, while on the losing end of the markets, the cuts are much sharper than that of the top Nifty gainer. So the top Nifty losers BPCL with a cut of about 3%, while the top Nifty gainer was HCL Tech with a gain of about 1.5%. So as you can see, the cuts are much sharper when you compare it to the gains. So BPCL, Bharti Airtel, Grasim, Titan, Power Grid are the counters that are actually seeing sharp cuts in today's trading session among the top losers on the Nifty index. Talking about sectoral indices, then it's the oil and gas, PSU Bank, energy, all of them taking it a bit easy, while IT and metals are the only ones that are holding on to some shade of green. Add to that list realty index, it is actually trading flat with a positive bias as of now. So that's the way how the markets are looking like. Shrishti, like you said, we are not actually wearing the similar shade to what the markets are performing right now, but there is a counter that is going ahead and going to enter the paint sector altogether, isn't it?
Well, yes, a lot of action in the paint industry, and that's Grasim's entry into the paint sector. The announcement was made earlier, but the official inauguration of their first ever plant is to be done today in Panipat, and that has stirred the competition, right? Because in fact, our correspondent Sumit Chaturvedi is in Panipat for the inauguration of the plant. So let's go across first to him for what this entry means for the paint industry and what should we look out forward to. Sumit, take it away.
Well, let's first start with how the overall plant looks like. We are here at Panipat Industrial Zone, and this is the beginning of a new era for Aditya Birla Group through Grasim Industries, where this Opus brand, as we can see here, is everywhere. This is the plant through which they will enter today into the paint segment, the paint market. It's worth 70,000 crore rupees. It's currently dominated by many players, including Asian Paints, Kansai Nerolac and Berger Paints. But with the Grasim industry coming into this, the competition is going to be further heated up in this segment. Well, company through its chairman will officially launch this Opus brand through this Panipat plant of Aditya Birla Group. Kumar Magna Birla, chairman, will virtually launch two more plants, one in Ludhiana and one in Tamil Nadu. Talking about the investment, 10,000 crore rupees have already been invested by the group so far into this, and going forward they will invest more. The distribution network is great as far as the group is concerned. The total capacity, annual capacity, is going to be 1,300,000 liters, million liters per annum. So it's a massive plant, and Grasim's entry into the whole market is going to take it on a different level altogether. As far as Grasim Industries is concerned, they aim to become second most profitable player in this segment. So a lot of competition is expected into the whole segment as far as the paint industry is concerned. Company was eyeing it so for many months since it was announced, and today is the day when it will be officially launched at this Panipat plant of Aditya Birla Group's Grasim Industries.
Thank you so much for that, Sumit. You're on the ground. We will touch base as and when the plant will be inaugurated. But let's hear out the editor's take on what Nikunj Dalmia actually makes of this entire competition increasing in the paint sector.
In terms of the announcement, in terms of the grandstanding, in terms of what their thoughts are, in terms of how they would really be challenging the entire current incumbents in the paint industry, a lot would be known today. The Birlas have come and they're challenging the entire dominance of Asian Paints and others in the paint industry. Why is that crucial? Because for the first time you got competition coming from a large group, because JSW did move into the paint business, but their investment was that not large. We're looking at about 10,000 crore kind of an investment coming from the Birla group. So this is something which really would be the exciting watchword for the market per se. And given that, you know, given that they have such a large commitment, will the entire setup of the paint industry change? From a market standpoint, could there be a price war? Could there be a P compression? Could there be, is this the geo moment for the paint industry? That we'll only get to know when the press release and when the entire strategy forward would be announced by Mr. Birla. But from a market standpoint, look, this is exciting because paint stocks in India have been the highest wealth creators. Asian Paints, Berger, they've been highest wealth creators. Incumbent comes in, and this incumbent is coming in with a big pocket and a strong distribution and a great brand. So obviously it will have impact on the paint industry and the pricing per se. Just think about it. Reliance came and challenged Birlas in the telecom space. Adani came and challenged Birlas in the cement space. Birlas are coming out and challenging Asian Paints in the paint space.
So that's all about the picture of the paint industry as of now, and editor's take on the same as well. But with this, let's also get the take of our experts for today on the show. Let me welcome on board Vivek Karwa from Riddhi Investments on the fundamental side, and on the technical front, Kush Bora is joining us. A very good morning to both of you. And Vivek, first of all, what's your take coming in with the Grasim's official entry into the paint sector with the inauguration of their first ever plant? And at this point in time, let me put it simply, which one of them will you buy, Asian Paints or Grasim?
First of all, the competition is heating up, as Nikunj was saying. And whenever the competition is going to heat up, and if there is some, say, even little bit of flow going from Asian Paint and Berger, which are the leaders in this segment, there should be P compression for sure. Now, these companies have been suffering, and most of them are off highs from recent past. And most of these companies have been suffering from input costs, which was crude. But luckily now crude is below 80 even now, and that gives a good signal. So what I find is the valuation, if you look at longer term, the valuations are still above medium. And there should be some kind of PE compression or price correction, which should slowly happen. But stocks like Asian Paints are looking like have bottomed out. So what I will suggest is split your buying maybe into 4 or 5 parts and slowly add up as it goes down. So it is not going to go up in hurry for sure, because with the competition heating up, people are going to be careful. But if there is any sort of correction, slow and steadily, you should accumulate.
So that's the take coming in from Vivek. Very good morning to you, Vivek. Good morning to you as well. Question, what's your take coming in on these paint counters? No doubt, along with the rest of the paint counters, you have Grasim also that is under pressure. But now, would you also consider Grasim as a paint counter while going ahead and analyzing all these paint stocks? Or what's your favorite pick in the paint arena?
Hi, Cheryl. A very good morning to you, to Fake Srishti and all the viewers. Well, truth be told, from a technical lens, the only colors I see are red and green, the ones that I'll put up on my candle. But if we were to compare, the charts of, let's say, a couple of these counters, honestly, and not a very encouraging sign in all of these, right? I mean, Grasim, if we today, for discussion's sake, paint it as, for a lack of better word, as paint stock, then even this is the one that stands out, or rather, this is the only one that stands out. Otherwise, if you see, most of these names have been under a bit of selling pressure for the last 3 to 4 months. The big boy, Asian Paints, it's very close to its support zone. I think, if that breaks, we could see much lower levels on, Asian Paints also. So if we were to put Grasim under the same bucket, then yes, this is the only stock that is actually doing well. Perhaps one other stock that technically does stand out a little is Berger Paints. Otherwise, the likes of Axo Nobel, Kansai, Nerolac, Indigo Paint, all of them have seen a lot of pressure. They won't be, they won't be featuring in my top 10 list of stocks anytime soon, it seems like.
All right, so that's the view coming in from both of our experts when we talk about the paint sector in particular. But on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll start taking your query, viewers, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock related queries. Remember, viewers, you can write to us on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screen. Do remember to mention your name each time you write to us. Mention the stock that you're looking to invest in. If you are already invested in the stock, mention the buy price, the quantity, as well as the time horizon. And that way, our experts will be able to help you better. And talking about our experts, today we have Vivek Karwa as well as Kush Bora joining us on the show. Once again, good morning to both of you. And let me kickstart with the query segment then. And this one is coming in from our viewer Sayak, who's writing to us from Bangalore. And he wants to know whether it's good time to go ahead and invest in NBCC and HUDCO considering the recent budget announcements in the housing sector. Also, I think Sayak was watching our ET Now ticker very closely because some time ago we did have a flash on the bottom of the screen which read that NBCC has actually signed an MOU with HUDCO. But coming to you, Vivek, do you think that this is the only trigger that one should look at, or fundamentals are also warrant a buy for these counters?
See, definitely fundamentals change when the focus of the government is on infra and housing. So what I feel is, of course, NBCC having a tie-up with HUDCO or a MOU with HUDCO is a good thing. But overall, compared to both the stocks, I find that HUDCO would be a better choice because NBCC valuations look a bit stretched to me. Now, why HUDCO? See, first of all, we are going to have full budget on July 5. But the trailer what we got on February 1st is that government's focus is again going to be fully on infra and housing. So it could be housing for poor, it could be housing for middle class. So as and when that keeps happening, I think stocks like HUDCO should continue doing well. So valuation wise, HUDCO is more comforting compared to NBCC. So I would go with HUDCO as first choice.
Moving on then, the next query that I have, Kush, is coming from N. Ramesh from Hyderabad. He's a long-term investor and a senior citizen and he wants an advice on two counters. He's holding IGL from a price of 484 rupees as well as Divi's Lab 15 shares from a price of 4400 rupees. In both the counters, he's sitting at a loss. Should he go ahead and book out the losses or continue to hold on?
Well, as far as IGL goes, there is a possibility that the stock might continue consolidating for some time and then perhaps, give way and, move down. So IGL, my suggestion would be to perhaps, book out and, switch to some, other counters. But as far as Divi's goes, this stock has seen a fair bit of volatility, has come in a bit of a pressure. But I think, it's taking support at its 200-day moving average. And in the past, also, this stock has rebounded from the 200-day moving average. So Divi's is something that he can hold on, especially if the view is long term. But IGL is not such a convincing move. So exit IGL and hold Divi's.
This one is coming in from Ramamurthy from Bahrain. He wants to know, Kush, whether he should book profits in KCP at 20%. Also, he has good, healthy profits in Godrej Properties. 30% is the profit he's making in Godrej Properties. For Godrej Properties, he's asking whether he should go ahead and partially exit this one.
Sure. So just to quickly cover the KCP query, well, the stock's actually been falling for the last 5-6 sessions, and despite that, if he is in, a 20% profit, then for sure, book out because the stock could continue sliding, a little lower. Support comes in at 200, but the kind of selling pressure that we've seen, it could accelerate, going forward. As far as Godrej Properties goes, I like the idea. The stock is in an uptrend consolidation, but with a positive bias. Not a bad idea to book partially and hold the rest for higher levels of about 24.75 once that is taken, or 25.25 also. So Godrej Properties, yes, he can book partially and hold the rest for higher levels.
All right, moving on. And Vivek, the next query that I have is on Tata Investment, and this viewer name is also Vivek, and he's holding 300 shares of Tata Investment Corp. But he didn't share his buy price. So what to do? Like, what's the outlook on this particular counter? And he also has a query on Timken. He's holding 750 shares of this one as well. So wants an outlook on this one.
Srishti, see, first of all, Tata Investment is more like a holding company, and that's the reason it is commanding the valuations, because overall the Tata Group stocks are doing extremely well. So the book value of Tata Investment should be approximately 4,500 to 5,000 rupees, and it is trading above that. So as long as the group stocks continue doing well, I think this stock also should continue doing well. So that is the trigger point. So it is going to move in tandem. If there is any sort of correction, maybe 6-7%, at that point of time, we can book profit. Otherwise, just keep a trailing stop loss and keep moving. Now, coming to Timken, see, the valuations here don't look too stressed like Tata Investment, because that is a bit higher value. Ball bearings and this sector will continue doing well because it is directly related to manufacturing and infra both. So what I feel is at this valuations, I think Timken can continue doing well. So you should hold it on. Not a fresh buy recommendation, but yeah, on dips, surely you can buy. But if somebody is already having it, I think at 59.60p, it is okay. You can still continue. Compared to other stocks in similar sector, they are much more richly valued than Timken. So there is still scope for more up.
The other one is coming in from Swami, who's a retired employee. He's from Bangalore. He's a long-term investor. He got the allocation of Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC IPO at the IPO for the price of around 712 rupees per share. Now he's saying the shares or the price of the stock has been seeing a sharp decline. What to do? Sell, average, or hold? What's your take coming in on this, Vivek?
See, the problem, I'll tell you both the sides of the story. First of all, as a AMC, if you look at long term, it is a great industry to be in, because you're going to find that the managed funds space is going to grow further from here. We do a lot of mutual fund business, and I analyze many of the mutual funds very, very closely. But the issue with Aditya Birla is most of the funds as of today are either average performing or even underperforming compared to peer group. And that's the reason the flows which should come normally, it is lower than that. And hence the profitability of the company is less, and the stock is not getting a re-rating. But again, mutual fund industry is a cyclical industry, I should say. What funds are doing bad today may actually outperform tomorrow, because last 2 years, value-based stocks have done pathetically, because we were seeing markets rallying and most of the growth stocks were doing well. So if AMC is having value-based stocks, that fund will underperform, and when volatile times comes, it will outperform also. So long-term, definitely very, very bullish. I think you should slowly average it if you are ready to hold it for next 5 years. If it is for short-term, I don't think the funds are going to
I think the pain is from the fact that he's been holding it from the IPO levels, and then the stock has actually dipped quite a bit despite the recovery, and he's still sitting at a loss. But from a near to medium term perspective, I think there's a fair bit of recovery in this stock. All the dips have been bought. I'm looking at it from a weekly lens. It's even crossed the near term resistance of about 450 to 460. So my suggestion would be hold on. It'll be a while before the stock actually goes to the IPO price, and he's in a profit, but he could hold on and perhaps exit at a slightly lesser loss. So the levels that I'll be looking at are 550, and once that is taken out, about 590 to 600 kind of zone. There the loss should be a little lesser, and the current momentum gradually, but could take the stock to those levels.
Before we proceed with the queries, let's actually hear our Prime Minister, who's addressing at the Golden Jubilee celebration of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, also known as Amul.
अमूल यानी समय के साथ आधुनिकता का समावेश, अमूल यानी आत्मनिर्भर भारत की प्रेरणा, अमूल यानी बड़े सपने, बड़े संकल्प और उससे भी बड़ी सिद्धियां। आज दुनिया के 50 से ज्यादा देशों में अमूल के प्रोडक्ट को निर्यात किया जाता है। 18,000 से ज्यादा दुग्ध सहकारी मंडली, 36 लाख किसानों का नेटवर्क, हर दिन 3.5 करोड़ लीटर से ज्यादा दूध का संग्रहण, हर रोज पशुपालकों को 200 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का ऑनलाइन पेमेंट, ये आसान नहीं है। छोटे छोटे पशुपालकों की ये संस्था आज जिस बड़े पैमाने पर काम कर रही है, वही तो संगठन की शक्ति है, सहकार की शक्ति है। भाइयों और बहनों, दूरगामी सोच के साथ लिए गए फैसले कई बार आने वाली पीढ़ियों का भाग्य कैसे बदल देते हैं, अमूल इसका भी एक उदाहरण है। आज अमूल के ये नींव सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के मार्गदर्शन में खेड़ा मिल्क यूनियन के रूप में रखी गई थी। समय के साथ डेयरी सहकारिता गुजरात में और व्यापक होती गई और फिर गुजरात मिल्क मार्केटिंग फेडरेशन बनी। आज भी ये सरकार और सहकार के तालमेल का बेहतरीन मॉडल है। ऐसे ही प्रयासों की वजह से हम आज दुनिया के सबसे बड़े दूध उत्पादक देश हैं। भारत के डेयरी सेक्टर में 8 करोड़ लोग सीधे जुड़े हुए हैं।
Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now. Let's keep it going with answering all your stock related queries. And Kush, coming to you for the next query. This one is coming from Neelam from Jaipur, and she's holding two banking names, IndusInd Bank as well as IDBI Bank. What she's saying that she's making 25% plus profits in both of these counters, but since there's a drop in the share price, good time to move out, or can she continue to hold on? She wants a 3 to 4 months investment horizon.
Sure. So let's take up IndusInd Bank first. The stock had run up quite a bit. It's again come down to its support zones. I think there is a recovery imminent from these levels, maybe perhaps a little lower, about 1440, 1420 odd. But I think from there on, the stock should take support and rebound. So I think from a 3 to 4 month perspective, I think IndusInd Bank is very clearly a hold. I'm tempted to say a similar, opinion on IDBI Bank. However, a quick caveat is that 88, that's where the 20-day moving average lies. If it breaks and slips below that, then it could see further levels on the downside. So I would say hold IDBI Bank, but with a very tight stop loss at 88. If that is held on, then you could see a rebound here as well.
Right, the next one is coming in from Sushil. I'm taking it to you, Vivek. He has JP Associates, which he's bought and averaged since the year 2008 at a price of 67 rupees per share. He's asking whether he should further bring down his costs in JP Associates. Also wants to know what's the outlook for the next 2 years. Will it be a turnaround story like Suzlon? What's your view coming in on this particular counter? JP Associates must say he's been pretty gutsy to actually hold on since the year 2008.
It's like 16 years, Shiril. My company, Vriddhi, we had incorporated it in 2008. And since then he's sitting. Now I can only tell him, had you put that time, that money, even in a normal, say, diversified mutual fund, your money would have got at least 4 times from that price. It doesn't make sense to hold this kind of companies which with very, very high debt, and wherein the future of the company is really uncertain. I would still advise you, please come out. And you're talking about averaging is, I don't know, should I be so harsh, but it's ridiculous. I feel so. So please sell and invest somewhere else.
Moving on to the next one, and Vivek, once again coming to you, this query is on banking names. I already had the technical check from Kush on 2 names, but Niha from Bangalore is holding PSU banking names in her portfolio: Maharashtra Bank, Union Bank, Canara Bank, and Bank of Baroda. She is making 30% profit in all of these. Good time to book out profits, or for the next 6 months she can stay invested?
I would say stay on. Uh, First of all, there is a small correction which we already seen from the highs, and the way banking, PSU banking segment is emerging now. You should say pre 2000, pre demonetization era and post demonetization era. Post that and post the IPC rules, the banking lending system, the risk management, everything has improved. And that's the reason you're finding that the gap between the PSU stock valuations and the private sector bank valuations is narrowing. And I think this will continue narrowing. And stocks like Bank of Maharashtra even look good. And stocks like even Bank of Baroda and Canara Bank, you still get them at single digit P's. So it's quite good. Long term, definitely a hold.
This one is coming in from Dr. Ravi, writing to us from Bangalore. This one is for you, Kush. He wants to know whether he should go ahead and buy Aavas Financiers right now, that is today, for a period of 1 year.
Sure, not a bad idea. The stock's actually making a triple bottom here and attempting a rebound. So the risk reward ratio is surely favorable. Just that given how the stock has been under pressure, my suggestion would be keep your portfolio, or rather the position sizing, a little less. Don't go aggressively on it. But yes, from a risk reward standpoint, this stock looks like ripe for rebound. In fact, today the stocks actually moved up above the 20-day moving average. So that's a confirmation that the reversal is perhaps here to stay. Positionally, a good stop loss comes in at about 1400. My first target here would be 1550, and once that is taken out, we're looking at 1600 plus kind of levels. So Aavas Financiers from here does look like a good a buy.
The next query is coming in on Welspun Corp, and Thomas is holding these shares 300 in quantity, and his buy price is 224 rupees. Almost a doubler for him. Good time to exit or continue to hold on?
It's for me.
Yes, Vivek, for you. Welspun Corp is the counter, Vivek.
For me?
Yes, Vivek, it's for you. The query is
Okay.
on Welspun Corporation.
Okay. I think you should hold it on. Even despite the run up, the valuation, if you compare it with other steel companies and other steel pipe manufacturing companies like APL, Apollo, and all, the valuations look quite cheap compared to those stocks. So what I feel is hold it on, and there is scope of at least 25-30% move even from here. So fundamentally, the stock is very, very good.
To you, Vivek. Very easy actually question coming from Balakrishna. He's writing to us from Chennai. Between Radico Khaitan and United Spirits, which one do you think will be a better option in the longer term now?
Longer term, United Spirits would be better. First of all, in Hindi they say no, it is a Diggaz company, and I am holding the stock since 400 rupees, and I feel going forward, stock should continue doing well. Now, what has happened is it was once upon a time Vijay Mallya stock with a lot of debt, unclean books, in fact, dirty books, I should say. Now, after Diageo took it over, slow and steadily, they've been cleaning the books and repaying the debt. The company is almost debt free today. First thing. Second thing, what they've done is they've also started the premiumization of the products. So they're going, they have stopped all low margin products and have started focusing on the high margin premium products. And in India, if you look at the consumption of alcohol, it is too less compared to the world standards. So long term, surely a hold. As I said, I am holding it since very, very long. So that's the small disclosure.
To actually, Vivek, come in there, but if you look at Radico Khaitan, the way how the stock price has actually rallied, wouldn't it be tempting for people to go ahead and invest in that, given the fact that their product portfolio, it is also quite lucrative, isn't it, as a consumer?
Definitely. See, I'm looking at two things. First of all, the liquor space is not in GST. Keep that in mind. And what happens is state government now, yesterday or day before yesterday, there was some news from Karnataka that they might increase prices again. So this is a political tool, the alcohol space, which all state governments use for garnering revenue. So what happens when that's not a big, we we can never say, first of all. Radico Khaitan is a good company. I'm not at all saying that don't buy it. You can definitely buy it. But if you look at long-term stable, Diageo India, I mean, United Spirits look more safe compared to the other companies. So the downside protection is higher in United Spirits. And I feel that after maybe some point of time, they would even change the name to Diageo India. That is also going to happen. So Radico Khaitan, yeah, products are good. Valuations compared to Diageo is a bit costly because it's a small cap company, and hence you get that small cap volatility also. So you can definitely play on Radico also.
So that's the take on both of these liquor stocks. But moving on, Kush, any of the chemical stocks that is standing out at this point in time? Gautam wants to make a fresh investment in any of these chemical stocks with a 12 to 18 months time horizon.
So again, I think, just earlier this week, we were discussing a similar story, and, a lot of names haven't really lived up to the promise that, we had early this year, late last year, right? That, a lot of these names would perhaps turn around. Even then, a couple of stocks that do stand out. One of them is SRF and the other is Deepak Nitrate. From a weekly perspective, these stocks are holding above their support zones. In fact, even attempting a rebound. How much will it be successful is a question mark. But then these are the two names that are showing some promise. So on Deepak Nitrate, 2500 is a rather a convincing number, or the first hurdle that someone should look at in terms of target. And on the downside, you have about 2275 as a strong support zone. SRF, very similar setup here. On a weekly basis, the stock is actually on the rise. So here you could look at 2500 to 2750 kind of an upside. And on the downside, the support zone comes in about 2250. So SRF and Deepak Nitrate, these are the only two names that I would trust at the moment in this space.
On that note, we'll actually slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your query, viewers, so don't go anywhere.
Inster is quality that you can trust.
In association with Bank of Baroda, हमेशा आपके लिए।
आज ऑफिस में महेश को खूब डांट पड़ी, पर गलती मेरी थी। कल बॉस को सच बोल दूंगा। आखिर गलती तो है, मानूंगा नहीं तो सुधारूंगा कैसे?
ये वो SIP है जो अमित अभी से अपने बेटे को एक अच्छा इंसान बनाने के लिए कर रहे हैं। जब जिंदगी जीने का तरीका ही SIP है, तो जिंदगी के लिए SIP क्यों ना हो? An investor education and awareness initiative by HDFC Mutual Fund.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
मोदी सरकार की गारंटी, किसानों को हर साल रुपए 6,000, 11 करोड़ 80 लाख किसानों को अब तक 2,60,000 करोड़ रुपए की सहायता। हमारा संकल्प विकसित भारत।
मुझसे नहीं हो गया।
उनको देख रहे हो? क्या संगीत तक ये स्टेप सीख पाएंगे? ये खूबसूरत चिंता आप करिए। शादी के पर्सनल लोन की चिंता हम संभाल लेंगे विद इंस्टेंट अप्रूवल एंड ओवरड्राफ्ट लाइक बेनिफिट्स।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
मौसम को अपने पैशन के बीच जो नहीं आने देते, मैं उनका फैन हूं। मेरी तरह SBI भी आपका फैन है, इसलिए SBI आपके लिए थोड़ी एक्स्ट्रा मेहनत करता है। तो एक्सीलेंट कस्टमर सर्विस, असिस्टेंस टू MSMEs और टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन बैंकिंग सॉल्यूशंस। घर छोड़ दूं, SBI बदल रहा है क्योंकि हम एक बदलते देश के फैन हैं। SBI, देश का फैन।
सर, ट्राई बेरी पुलाव। टू गुड। Good, no? Hey, why are you giving him such looks? Ignore tips and use your own mind before you order. Lots of people give unsolicited stock tips. It can be dangerous. Study the company and the risk associated. Invest only after analyzing.
समझ कर इन्वेस्ट कर।
गॉड, इतना पानी आ गया है।
पापा जी, बारिश हो रही है? वाह, छत टपक रही है।
अरे शिफ्ट करने वाले ना पापा, बस घर मिलने की देर है।
तो देर ज्यादा ही नहीं होगी।
हेलो, यू।
घर है,
इसकी शादी नहीं कि बिना एडवाइस के डिसीजन ले लिया।
इसीलिए तो घर मैजिक ब्रिक्स में देखिए प्रॉपर्टी की पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन विद एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस
और 15 लाख से ज्यादा प्रॉपर्टी ऑप्शंस है।
गुड, एटलीस्ट मेरा घर तो लाखों में एक होगा।
GPT Healthcare Limited, one of the key regional corporate healthcare companies in Eastern India in terms of number of beds and hospitals as of fiscal year 2023, launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of 10 rupees each through the book building process with a price band of 177 rupees to 186 rupees per equity share. Bid offer opens on Thursday, February 22, 2024 and closes on Monday, February 26, 2024. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, BRLM, stock exchanges and the company.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
जिंदगी की हर छोटी बड़ी जरूरत के लिए आप जो सपने सजाते हैं, बस उसी उम्मीद को तो हम सहारा लगाते हैं। SIP आपकी सेविंग्स को आपकी खातिर काम पर लगाएगी। आज ही अपनी पहली SIP की शुरुआत करें। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने वित्तीय सलाहकार से परामर्श करें। LIC म्यूचुअल फंड द्वारा निवेशक शिक्षा की एक पहल।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिम के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let me continue taking all of your stock related queries then. And the next query that I have is coming in from Vivek. It's for you, Kush. He has TCS at a price of 3,600 rupees per share. He's making profits. He wants to know whether he should stay put with TCS or instead look at the mid-cap IT players like Persistent or KPIT Tech. Does it make sense?
It does. Well, while on technical front, TCS is also on a pretty strong footing. Week on week, if you see, the stock's actually done well. Some profit booking last couple of days. But, I think the switch is perhaps, a better one where the likes of Persistent, Coforge, some of these names are actually expected to do well, have been doing well, are expected to do well going forward also. So not a bad idea to book some profits in TCS and move to something like, let's say, Persistent.
Right, moving on. And Vivek, what's your view coming in on Equitas Small Finance Bank? Ravi is holding 5,000 shares at a price of 110 rupees. Not very far from the current market price, but do you believe it has a good return potential?
See, longer term, I think it should be a market performer. I'm not looking at it as an outperformer at all. And that is very evident from the fact that the stock is struggling in this range past a few weeks. So longer term, yes, I think company should continue doing well, and particularly the management of this bank is also aggressive. So long term, yes. Short term, no.
Quick note of the commentaries that's coming below on the bottom of your screen, just to a caveat for all of our viewers. Those commentaries are actually coming in from Nestle PLC. That's a global company, parent company of Nestle India. They are seeing 2024 organic revenue growth at about 4% versus the estimate that was expected of about 4.9%, as well as the 2023 organic growth is coming at around 7.2%, tad bit lower than the estimate of 7.4% growth, as well as some commentary coming in from Nestle PLC is that they are going to prioritize volume and mix-led growth with increased brand support. So that's the commentary coming in from the global, rather the parent company of Nestle India. Let's move on then, and let me take the next one. This one is coming from Sudeep. He's looking to go ahead and enter into Aun Chemicals, Everest Canto, as well as Orient Carbon and Chemicals for a period of 2 to 3 years. Vivek, he wants to know if they are a good bet and which one is a good bet out of these three to do an SIP in for the next year or so and hold on to the next.
You'll have to repeat the names.
Okay, the names are Aun Chemicals, Everest Canto. Okay. And the last one is Orient Carbon. I'm not sure if you track Orient Carbon.
Orient Carbon, no. I don't know about it, so no comments. Aun Chemical is one stock I think you can look for absolute long term as SIP mode, surely. But Everest Canto is not a chemical company. It's a cylinder manufacturing company. So if LNG and gas industry is going to do well, even that will do well. So you can split between Archean and Everest Can.
All right, but with this, viewers, let's start taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And the first query, Vivek, is coming from Rita Banerjee. She's holding Gensol Engineering from a price of 803 rupees. Can stay invested for the long term. What will be your advice?
I think you should slow and steadily book out when it goes up. Valuation wise, I have discount.
All right, Kush, coming to you. Vishwanathan has VA Tech Vabag. He's purchased at levels of 454 rupees per share, 100 shares. Should he book profits in this one?
Unfortunately, I've not been able to load these charts. We'll have to perhaps skip this one. I'm
No
sorry.
problem. Vivek, you have any take on VA Tech Vabag? Already making healthy profits, 420.
Stock used to be at these levels, went till I think 100 or 200 levels. And great company. Water is okay. This is rapid fire round.
Yes.
I think you should book out. I think you should book out profit when it goes up again. Keep booking profit.
Okay, Vivek, quickly, what's your advice on REC, PFC and NHPC? Najib is having these shares and having a drawdown of 15% as well. Should he stay invested or move out?
REC, PFC, buy.
All right, Kush, if you are able to load your chart, DCB Bank is the counter. Srinivas has 150 shares, bought it during the recent rally at 158. Should he hold or average or switch?
Exit, switch, perhaps a PNB or a Canada Bank, perhaps make more sense.
Okay, Vivek Kabir Bedi wants to know, is this a good entry level for Venky's India for the medium term?
Venky's is a structural story. I think you should slow and steadily keep buying as and when you get chances.
All right, this one is coming in from Namita, who has Moil at levels of 319 rupees per share. Wants to know of the target price for the next 3 months for this one. Kunal, sorry, I beg your pardon, Kush.
Well, ideally my suggestion here would be to exit. The stock is seeing a bit of a downturn, has not seen any kind of recovery. So my suggestion would be to exit. But if she still wants to hold on, keep a stop loss at 265 and hold.
All right, Kush, once again, a query coming in from Sumantra Chatterjee. Good levels to buy Indigo or HDFC Bank at this point?
HDFC Bank, yes. From positional perspective, yes. Indigo, perhaps wait a little. We are seeing some sort of divergences on this, so I have a feeling that the stock might actually slip below 3,000. Once it comes to those levels, Indigo, at that price, 3,000 or maybe closer to that, will be a good entry point.
All right, with that we come to the end of the rapid fire. Thank you so much, Kush, as well as Vivek, for joining us on the show and resolving all of our viewer queries. And viewers, with that we come to the end of this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. If we have not been able to answer your query, please don't be disheartened. We will try and address it as and when and as fast as we can. But I hope you benefited with all the stocks that we've discussed. With that, it's a goodbye from Shrishti, myself and the team that put the show together.